You know what pisses me off? The fact that they could absolutely sell a Gen 4 triple pack port for $60 and it would not only sell amazingly, but I'd be a goddamn sucker for it.
Everybody like, hey, are you ready to go? Ready to go. Everybody like, hey.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow your horses now. Okay? Slow it down, Slippy. First off, what's going on, guys? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. Now, before you get click-clacking on your little keyboards before you even watch the video, just give me a minute to explain why this video idea even popped into my head. I'm sure a lot of you may disagree with them. However, I have seen here and there across many of videos regarding Gen 4 remakes that not only would they rather not have the remakes yet until we've reached a further point in development with Pokemon games, but they would rather just have ports. On one hand, you're thinking, well, that would be stupid. Why would they just port over a game when they could make a lot more money off of a full remake utilizing their shiny new port that they just used for Gen 8? Why in God's good name would they go backwards like that? However, as I did, you could probably also sit there and think about it for a minute and actually consider the fact that it's what we want, it's very simple, nobody gets upset, and we could just move along. Granted, I am no game designer, so God only knows how the hell they would manage to make a DS game work on the Switch, but you know what? They found a weird, funky way of making it work on the Wii U, so why the hell not the Switch? Anyway, aside from that, let's, actually sit down and talk about what you guys came here for, and talk about what we would rather have in terms of ports versus remakes. I can't even sit here and lie to you though, even my answer isn't as plain and simple as I thought it would be when asking myself that question. I'm actually a little bit in between on this one. On one hand, I do want a legal way to be able to play the original games, but on the other, I feel like we're a little bit too spoiled and far gone to jump that far backwards, especially for the newcomers. So you could see this as one of my usual discussions, but let's go ahead and set this up as if it were a sort of versus, so to speak. Okay, in one hand or in one corner, I'm gonna be doing, in defense of ports, and on the other, in defense of the remakes. Just a reminder, as always, you do not have to agree with me on any of the points that I make right now. Anyway, why don't we hop into it? In defense of ports, let's start off with the fact that it's almost virtually impossible to ruin a port. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible though. They could totally, absolutely botch the ports, send it over to us glitchy and unfinished and completely unpolished and everything like that. But when you think about it, they could easily send out one little update, one little patch, and those glitches are totally fixed. Other than that though, I highly doubt they're gonna do anything to update the game on the inside. So really, with ports, we at least know exactly what we're in for. We get a game that we've been wanting to play, and we can play it now. It's a little old, and it shows, but at least we can play it now. Now, while this could absolutely destroy the entire argument for ports, one could definitely argue the fact that anybody could just go in and download ROMs, okay? Emulators are barely even a thing of the future. You could absolutely get them at any time during the day out of boredom in literally 5 minutes. Fair enough. However, on one hand, you absolutely have to consider that not everybody has the available equipment ready to download and run an emulator or a ROM on their computers or whatever they use to play it. 2, not everybody's ready to be Bad Boy Eddie, bro. Believe it or not, there are some people that more than recognize the fact that that is a very illegal action that could result in some very serious consequences potentially down the line. So that's where the port comes in. It satisfies people who want to play the games legally and, newcomers who never got to play the earlier games in the series, because not everybody got that opportunity, and a lot of people that want to play the games don't want to go onto like Amazon or eBay or whatever and pay the full $40 for a 15-year-old game. Game's really old. I love it to death, but I cannot justify $40 on the whole thing by itself. That's ridiculous. And I didn't even consider the people that don't own a DS or 3DS that would have to go out and buy one, even though they're discontinued, mind you, because surprise, surprise, not everybody that owns a Switch also owns a DS or a 3DS. So what? You're just gonna continue to completely gatekeep the game by not allowing people to properly get the games, but also not allow them to play it in any way, shape, or form outside of you guys, even though they can't really get it from you guys comfortably. That's logical. This kind of leads into my next point, which is more so an L for us realistically, but it's a big W for Nintendo if they were to just give us the ports, because it's good, quick money. It's dirty as hell, but in their case, it's a big fat W because it's a quick, easy port, and if they sell it in the bundle, they can really get away with selling it for full price because people will buy into that. In one of my previous videos, somebody mentioned that we do have the terrible consumer mindset in which we're willing to buy pretty much whatever Pokemon puts out, and unfortunately, they're absolutely right. We do have a disgusting mindset, but we have that mindset because they've been manipulating us for quite some time now because we love the series that much. So realistically, you can't argue and say that people wouldn't be willing to buy a triple pack port of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, or maybe even a Platinum, Heart Gold, or Soul Silver triple pack thing. It doesn't even necessarily have to be DP, just 4th gen, something 4th gen that we're allowed to play legally on our home consoles. It's literally that easy to give us a solid holdover while we're waiting on the bigger, newer, fresher Pokemon games. Now, while that may sound ridiculous in the long run, just look at Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Not only did they sell that bundle of ports that weren't even really modified at all for full price, but they put a time limit on that bitch. Now, first off, as evil as that is, I will say this a million times until I'm blue in the face, while that is completely evil, it's genius as hell. Because guess what? People have been asking for ports legally of Super Mario 64. People have been asking for legal ports of Super Mario Sunshine. People have been asking for legal ports of Super Mario Galaxy. And they said, okay, fine, but we're gonna go ahead and put the fear of God into you so that you could all hurry up and buy it instead of sitting on your asses and dwaddle, because we don't want to waste money on ports that nobody's gonna buy. So we're gonna scare you. Guess what? It's only coming out until March. After that, y'all are screwed, so you better buy it now. And guess what happened? Everybody bought it. You know who else's dumbass bought that fully priced port bundle? Me! Guess why? I had no other way of comfortably playing Super Mario Sunshine. I never had a GameCube. And before now, I barely had a computer strong enough to decently run DS emulators. So a GameCube port? Oh, hell no! Absolutely not! Long story short, if they sold it separately, I only would have bought Sunshine and they would have lost probably a lot more money because that's what most people wanted anyway. However, because they were smart to put it in a triple pack and sell it for $60 and put it on a timer, I was pretty much tied. I, like a lot of other people, thought that I would be screwed out of being ever able to play these games legally if I didn't get them now. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I agree with Nintendo's business practices, because that is easily one of the more evil things that they've done to their base consumers. And trust me, you know, they've done a lot of evil things within the last month, okay? I'm not even gonna go into all that. However, from a business standpoint, they profit. From a gameplay standpoint, we benefit. We finally get a legal way to play the freaking games without having to spend a fortune on equipment that's over a decade old. Nintendo can be really evil, but they can also be really smart sometimes. Okay, so talking about ports made me a lot angrier than I thought I was gonna be, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to cool down and talk in the defense of just giving us general remakes. For starters, it's a remake, so it's a lot more likely to entice newcomers to invest in because it's a lot newer and it's a hell of a lot shinier. People that are just getting invested into the Pokemon series that got involved with Pokemon Let's Go or Pokemon Sword and Shield would probably look back at 4th gen and be like, what in the world? How did they get through this? Okay, it's a little too old for them, so personally, they would probably rather look at the newer, the bigger, and the better. Now granted, there are a lot of people that when they get invested into a new series, they would definitely love to go back and play the originals so they can get an idea of where everybody else is at too. But are you really gonna sit there and tell me that everybody that purchased Dragon Quest XI went back and played the first 3 Dragon Quest games? I highly doubt that. Do not sit there and lie to me. Long story short, pretty much if the game isn't really placed right there in front of them, there's no way they're gonna go out of their way to go get these old ass games when there's a brand new shiny one right in front of them. Okay, if they see that we get ports of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, there's probably gonna be a bunch of people that are like, no, I don't want that. But Sword and Shield looks kind of interesting though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get that instead, because that one's newer, right? You know, the Pokemon are actually in the overworld, and we have a 3D landscape, and things look prettier. So I'm just gonna go ahead and snag that one from you. That one's a little bit of a stretch, but, you know, think about that mindset for a minute here, and tell me that I'm wrong. In the long haul, a game with updated graphics and mechanics are more likely to hold us over for a much longer period of time than ports of games that we've played over and over and over again. Mostly because we know exactly what we're in for. We just wanted to play the games again in a legal way, and then once we've gotten that satisfaction, we're just gonna put the game down. Earlier in the video, I said that we knew exactly what we're in for, but that's also a downside too. We know exactly what we're getting. We're gonna play through the game, we know exactly where to go, we know exactly what to do, we're gonna beat it in, you know, probably less than 48 hours if we really wanted to, because the game isn't that crazy long. Maybe 48 hours is excessive, maybe 3 days max. I don't know how long it takes you all crazies to beat Pokemon games, but me personally, I'd set that down at least 2 to 3 days max, if I'm putting in all my time. Utilizing the ports again, when you think about it, those ports were only talked about for the majority of maybe a week, if that. It was like, oh hey, cool, I get to play Super Mario Sunshine again. I'm gonna beat it. Oh yeah, I have the other 2 games, but I don't really care about those. I just really wanted Sunshine. They talked about it, they put it down, and they moved back to Odyssey or something for the 5th time because we haven't had a new Mario game in ages. But you see what I'm saying? There's no real longevity in ports. It's nice in the short run, but in the long of it, it just makes us question more every day how Nintendo operates as a company, and makes us question if we want to keep giving them our money. Which we will, because we love Pokemon, we love Mario, we love Zelda, and they own it. So, what can you do? Personally though, if I had to pick between a remake and a port, I would much rather pay the full $60 for something brand new. In the long run, they'll last us a lot longer because they're newer and fresher and have implemented mechanics that are familiar to the newcomers, and we're just generally getting a bigger bang for our buck because they could over time implement more events and things like that we could get through updates or general DLC, because we're not getting that with ports. They're not adding anything new to ports. We're not even probably sure that we would be able to trade each other with ports. So, at the very least, in that regard, remakes are a hell of a lot safer. So overall here, while I have heard here and there that ports would be more ideal, realistically, I don't think so. I think remakes are more ideal. They gave us a lot more, and frankly, giving us ports would only show us just how much evil Nintendo can do, okay? However though, there's still no guarantee that the remakes will be a quote-unquote bang for our buck. We don't know what's in store. Either way though, I think that just about wraps it up for me. So I do want to hear what you guys think. Do you think that ports would be more ideal and a lot easier and safer? Or would you rather just go with the big route and just go all out, balls to the wall with some high quality remakes? I really truly do want to hear what you guys think down in the comment section below, because believe it or not, I am always down there. I love to hear what you guys are thinking. Alright, our gears have been turning since we heard about the possibility of remakes, okay? And we're all very excited to see what they have in store for us, and we all want to just talk about it, we all want to think about it, we all want to consider all the possibilities that are in store for us down the line. So, you know, I want to talk about it. So let me know, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna go ahead and skedaddle on out of here. Make sure to drop a like and a comment to let me know that you guys want more like this, and subscribe to get just that kind of content. And I think I'll be skedaddling on out of here. Thank you guys again. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.